Welcome to NFL Live, where we start things off with breaking news out of Philly. Adam Schefter, what do we need to know?
Well, Laura, Shaq Leonard, who visited the Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles last week, has made his decision. He's signing a one-year deal with the Philadelphia Eagles, whose next game will come Sunday night in Dallas against the Cowboys, which means Leonard will be going back to Dallas, this time as a member of the Eagles, to see if they could help slow down that vaunted Dallas Cowboys offense that's been shining lately. The Eagles needed help at the linebacker position. Their play there has been inconsistent. We saw the way that the Eagles linebackers struggled on Sunday against the 49ers, and now the Eagles are taking a step to try to improve their linebacking core. Now let's keep in mind, Darius Leonard, Shaq Leonard, is a three-time All-Pro linebacker who has been a standout in this league. But the Indianapolis Colts also released him. There have been some physical questions, so it'll be up to him to show that he's back to normal and able to play at an accelerated level. We'll see if he can do that in Philadelphia as a member of the Eagles.
Yeah, Howie Roseman continues to add pieces, and this one looks like could be a really key one if, as you said, Adam, he's as healthy as we hope he is. Welcome into NFL Live, everybody. For the first time since September, we are all back together as Mina Kimes rejoins us. So excited for this. So glad to have you back, Mina.
MK.
She's here.
Hello.
Mama MK.
Couldn't stay away.
Yeah, we're going to put her right to work. Marcus Spears, Ryan Clark, Dan Orlovsky as well. Mina, as we look at the Eagles defense yesterday, does Leonard help shore up some of those issues we saw?
Addressing the linebacker issue with Philadelphia, it's been an issue with this team because of injuries. It is not an area of the roster where they've invested a lot in, but I think we should take a minute to acknowledge that the San Francisco 49ers make all linebackers look terrible. It is Kyle Shanahan's mission in life to victimize the position, I believe. The Eagles' two off-ball linebackers were the most targeted players on defense yesterday. And the problem against San Francisco in particular is because of their physicality and speed, you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't with how you approach defending them. When the Eagles were in base with their linebackers on the field and 4 DBs, the San Francisco 49ers killed them through the air. I talked about how they were going after the linebackers in coverage. But when they came out in nickel with 5 DBs, they got gashed over 7 yards per carry on the ground. The San Francisco 49ers, they're a problem with no right answer. The only right answer is to have linebackers who can cover and tackle at a very high level, but those aren't exactly growing on trees.
Yeah, listen, they can go get Brother Shaquille from Martin when he went to the monastery. They can go get Shaquille Leonard if they want him. Hell, they could get Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have damn mattered last night. When you look at what the San Francisco 49ers were able to do offensively, they made this a fist fight. And normally, right, let's say if you're walking down the alley and you get two sides of the football, defense and offense, and it turns into a fist fight, you normally say that the defense will win because physicality wins on that side of the ball. But not when you play this football team, not when there's Deebo Samuels, not when there's Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams. They made the linebackers and the perimeter players of the Philadelphia Eagles tackle last night. And the more they made them tackle, the less they liked tackling. I thought that Kyle Shanahan did an amazing job of what he was able to do schematically to get his ball carriers in space and get them going downhill. And once they began to get in the flow, it was the exact thing that the Philadelphia Eagles did not want. Watching that game, I said to myself, if they play 9 more times, no matter where they play, the San Francisco 49ers win because of that matchup of skill players versus defenders.
Yeah, and to your point, RC, you and MK, you always want to hopefully get better at a position with skill and the ability of a player. But last night, this was a schematic thing. I mean, one of me and MK favorite lines is a spin cycle. And that's what these linebackers were in. You see it here. They influence you so much with Christian McCaffrey. This is actually a bust by Morrow, the linebacker. Because one is supposed to expand. He's supposed to stay backside for whatever crosses his face. Again, you see the pull from Christian McCaffrey. Look at all 3 of these backers. Look at everybody's eyes while Brandon Ayuk is slipping out of the back of the end zone. This is also about players. Kyle Shanahan is phenomenal, but you got to have players that'll create a gravitational pull. Here you see Deebo. Look at the eyes of the linebacker. We coming right back behind you. So a lot of times when we talk about the run after the catch, we know they are dynamic in that regard with Deebo and Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle. By the way, 3 of the hardest guys to get on the ground in the NFL playing in the same offense. At linebacker, when you're playing against the San Francisco 49ers, they are going to try to make you make 3 decisions in a split second, and you can never be right.
So, Marcus, all those clips are zone. You know, everyone's playing zone defense there, and I totally agree. The eyes were so bad. The problem is, and this isn't necessarily centric to just Philly, is, all right, we're going to play man. Well, you don't have the people to do it. If you just go in the fourth quarter when it was like, second half, and you're just trying to play man, Jennings on Ricks was just a matchup that Kyle kept attacking. Third down, the switch release. Now third down, put him in the slot. Again, fourth quarter, maybe this game isn't out of hand. It's a 2-score game. There's another conversion. And then third down, just a little bit later to basically put the game out of arm's reach, just an out route, and it's one-on-one. And that's the downside, or that's the problem with Philadelphia right now is zone defense, they're not good enough against that team. And that's what we're measuring them against, right? Getting back to the Super Bowl. Well, the only answer is, well, we got to play man. I don't believe that they have the people to match up and play man coverage on a consistent basis when it comes to the third and fourth pass catching options that San Francisco has.
I'm not sure any of the defenses
Correct.
in the NFC do, especially if San Francisco has a lead. If you're able to get out in front of them and make the offense one-dimensional and then your pass rush can tee off, that's a different story. We saw that, by the way, during their losing streak. They're not unbeatable. But when they have a lead, the talent required from the 4-man rush and in coverage, when you look around the NFC and you look at the linebacker groups in particular, I don't see it. I look at a team like Baltimore in the AFC, that's where I start to think maybe they could be more competitive, but in the NFC, not seeing it.
Yeah, RC, when you think about the addition for
Laura,
the Eagles.
I know you're about to go. I know you're about to go. Wait, before you even go though, Laura, Mina, they actually are unbeatable though. Though that group of skill players, right? When everybody's healthy, and I add Trent Williams to the group of skill players, they've never lost. If they start the game and they finish the game, they win. And the other thing that I noticed last night, the play caller matchup was such a mismatch.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan versus Sean Desai, Steve Wilkes versus Brian Johnson. Or if you take them parallel, what the offensive coordinator of the San Francisco 49ers did compared to the Philadelphia Eagles should be abuse. If there was able to be abuse on the football field, that's what it was. If they don't step up in that part of the game as well as the guys on the roster, that game will never be close.
Yeah.
It feels like a preview of something we may see again, to y'all's points. All right, let's carry on here. The Eagles dropped to 10-2, just a game ahead of the 49ers, who now have the tiebreaker on them, as well as the Cowboys and Lions. With the loss, Philly's chance to get the 1 seed in the NFC drops from 74 to 50%. Just how important that game was yesterday, while San Francisco's chances double from 20 to 40%.